play some tunes. So there you go.
Hmm.
All right, we're live. What's up, everybody? Wednesday, time for another episode of Tag of the Androids. Very exciting stuff. You can tell by how excited we look.
Jazz hands.
Yes.
Yeah. We've been warned about the little green men. Now, they're coming. They're coming for you. Prepare for the attack of the Android.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, December 2nd, 2015. It's episode 175 of Attack of the Androids every week, usually when it's not Thanksgiving and shit. I'm Matt Lee. That's Eric. What's up, Eric?
Not much, Matt Lee. Happy post-Thanksgiving.
Hey, happy post-Thanksgiving. Joey Kelly also joining us. What's up, Joey?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is, as always, a pleasure to be with you, and I have to admit I have missed this because I was off, I think, for 2 weeks in a row this time. Sorry.
Goodness. Nick Carroll also joining us. What's up, Nick?
Hey guys, glad to be back. Yeah, I'm glad we're back in the force.
So I want to start things off. Shield tablet, right? When last we spoke, kind of complaining about some things, right? 16 gigs on board. Not much when you're installing games that are 2 to 4 gigs. So ended up getting the fastest 128 gig micro SD I could find because I read that a lot of games take like an hour to load when loading from the SD card. So I popped that thing in, and after the pain of having to move everything to it, right? Because it doesn't just like put stuff on the SD, you have to have room to install something, and then you can move it. And then so once I did all that, though, like I've only tried it out with Half-Life 2, and the loading screens aren't too bad. I mean, they're not great, but it's definitely, if you don't want to just have 1 or 2 games on there at once, I think the SD card is a pretty decent choice. I'll probably hold on to this one for a little bit longer at least. I'm still torn on if I'm going to send it back or not, but yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the good points about that tablet is you can put an SD card in it, so that's good.
Yeah, and Marshmallow, well, it's not Marshmallow, but Lollipop has really good SD and USB card support. I got these little 32 gig. They're like normal size on one side and micro on the other, and you can copy stuff from the computer with the big side and then put it in the little side in the tablet, and then it'll mount it just like a USB drive. So the support is much better than where we had come from previous.
Now, Matt, would you consider returning that and getting the regular Shield tablet that has 32 gigabytes? Would you be happier?
Not for $500 or $600. No way.
Oh, it's not that much.
The one with the controller is like $500. The built-in one with the flip.
No, not that one. No, like the one that I have, the tablet, but the tablet that has 32 gigabytes.
The K1 though?
No, they don't. Really, you can't find the original one anymore?
No, they have those. I couldn't find a K1 in a 32 or anything.
Yeah, I don't think they make it. I think for the K1, they were just trying to hit the price point, so they only did 16 gigs.
Yeah, they were going for the $200 price point because it was real popular for things like the Nexus, 7, etc. Yeah.
And that was literally the only saving grace that allowed me to buy it. Was like, oh, it's only a couple $100, and then you get a controller, then you get another one, and then you get an HDMI cable that's mini because it's the only thing you own that uses that, and then it gets up there, but it's still not $600 or $500 like the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, in comparison, the Nexus 9 that I bought, it was like 300 and change. I can't remember what it was, and that was on sale. And that only has, that has 32 gigs, but no SD card support like the Shield tablet. So that's a good advantage to have on that tablet.
It's pretty cool. I'll get some more time on it. I haven't really played a whole lot on it. I've been kind of stuck playing Star Wars Battlefront with my buddy. So
that's a good game.
That shit is cool.
My kid has that. My oldest kid has that. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, Matt, since you brought up video games, I have to say, since I was listening to last week's show when I was doing the show notes, or the week before show, I did get my Fallout 4 not sure that I understand fully all the criticisms you have. It's an okay game.
What about that game sucking don't you get? It's pretty cut and dry.
I don't get the sucking part.
Well, basically, unless you're a kid that like is homesick from school for a year or just doesn't have a job, maybe, then I could understand like that would help kill the time till you die. I ain't got time for that. I need a gun. I need bullets. I don't want to find a reloader and then find pieces to a gun and then find the freaking tools to fix the gun and then reload bullets after I find gunpowder and lead that I somehow turn into bullets. No, nobody has time for that, Eric. The kids that do, they're playing Minecraft.
Is this console or PC that you're playing on?
It's what?
Is this a console or a PC?
Yeah, PS4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're kind of screwed. I'm playing it on the PC. Here's my trick.
You just type in God mode in the console, and it's like, oh, here's your gun and bullets. Enjoy.
That is correct. I really don't. I don't have time. Like you said, I don't have time to like, ooh, I'm gonna grind this rock with this, baby skull that I found.
I don't have time for that.
And then I will turn into a arrowhead and attach to a stick. Yeah, no.
I just forget. I'm in it for the quests, man.
Okay, no, fair enough. That's kind of why I was stuck more on Arkham, because it's way more enjoyable. Plus, it's Batman, and you can like fly around. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So
good deal. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you for that. Did you guys see our favorite secure messaging app, Signal, now as it is known? They're coming out with a desktop beta client, which is kind of cool. So you can sign up there. If Eric will be so kind as to use my link in the show notes, the more people you get to sign up for the beta with your link, the further up in line it puts you. So feel free. Or just go sign up and they'll let you know when it's ready. It looked like there's about 5,000 people in front of me and one in back of me. So hopefully it's not
just one in back.
Well, I'm okay.
I'm right behind you.
I can feel you breathing on my neck. Thank you.
Perfect.
But yeah, that's kind of cool. There's been a lot of times where I'm like, I'm working on my computer, right? I wish that I didn't have to go grab my phone to text. That was one of the cool things early on with Android with PDA-Net is that it routed your text messages when you had it hooked up right to your computer, whatever computer you were tethering to. So you could type right back, and it was so great, like texting on your keyboard. So this client will bring that and be secure as we relied on them to be. So
it's weird to me that it's only like right now for the beta, it's only linking to Android devices and not iOS devices. Like, yeah, because isn't this all being done in a server somewhere? Or
yeah, but isn't it a nod to the platform that they started on?
It's a nod to not having to buy a distributor or to go through the process for a piece of beta software through the iStore. Would be my guess. You don't want to go through the crap.
Is that a big pain?
You have to submit it. It has to be reviewed. It has to be approved. Then it has to be released, and it's just hoops. And if you're already talking about it being a beta, you know there's going to be bugs and revisions and whatnot, and you might want to be able to rev that like quickly without having to hoop jump.
Well, the beta is on the computer. It's not on the app.
Yeah, it's
you have to release a new update to the app. I'm assuming to pair with the desktop. So
okay, sure.
I'm assuming, because otherwise everyone would already have the feature.
Yeah. And that's something that they mentioned at I/O, I think, last year about being able to have better control over your beta releases and everything. So I can see them, taking full advantage of that with this, even though it's a desktop app. It's Windows, so.
How many people are you messaging with Signal now?
Quite a few, actually. We got my work using it here. Or
really?
Using it, yeah.
That's outstanding.
Well, it's secure. There's value to that, so.
Yeah. Good stuff. And then, just as many friends. I got my mom using it, my brother using it. Like, everyone I know that I text, just, here, use this. It's good. So,
cool.
Did you see the new Chrome update? Has anyone gotten this yet for Android?
I don't think so. What's in it?
Usually Wednesdays, aren't they? The days that all the updates come out. I haven't checked yet.
I saw a couple of people get on my monitored systems. I saw a couple of people get the update to Chrome, but I haven't really played with it, to be honest.
It seems like the big thing they're focusing on is data saving. As we know, the further in the future we get, the more this data is going to dry up, and eventually we're going to literally be rationing data because there won't be enough of it, right? So I'm glad that there are places like Google here putting things in place so that we don't run out of data.
Yeah, I have it, and as you can see, I do have Data Saver as an option, which is awesome. I wish I had this. I wish I had this 2-3 years ago when I was in Burma, because, like, yeah, I would use. I used Currents when that was a thing, and
Currents. I don't recall that. What's that, Eric?
it was a very good, very ahead of its time, very shat upon RSS reader.
Not My Sixth Sense. It's actually called Currents.
Yeah, my Sixth Sense was a really terrible reader. This was okay.
That went away too, didn't it? They both
did.
both lost, didn't we?
We did.
The only update I have right now is for Signals. Speaking of that, so.
Yeah, I got the Chrome update too, so I just turned it on as well.
Dumb question, Eric. Have you noticed it getting laggier because it's having to bounce all the pages through Google servers, or has that not been an issue?
No, I don't actually have Data Saver turned on. I just noticed it was there, like, right now.
Yeah, I just turned it on, so I won't know for a while.
You're wasting so much data, Eric.
Well, I mean, I not to harp on it, but I am the Google Fi subscriber in the group, and I do only have 1 gig, so I am actually interested in not having to waste as much data on my web pages and stuff. Although, to be honest, I don't do that much surfing on the phone, obviously, otherwise I'd have a lot more than 1 gig of data.
Yeah, I don't think that this is really for you, though, Joey. I think it's for people who live in places where maybe it's like slow 3G or even 2G that they're dealing with.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I would think pages would load quicker. Like, theoretically, there's probably more latency, but there's less of a delay in actually getting all the content down. So.
Yeah, you raise a point there. Yeah, and actually, to be honest with you, right where I live, I've got 4G LTE, and pretty much for about a 15 to 20 minute ride around where I'm at, I have LG 4G LTE. However, when I go to places like my Railroad Museum, which is about 45 minutes away, I'm on 3G maybe. And that's a new data thing. It's called you might have 3G, you might not. And it is frustrating. So that might actually help for situations like that.
Yeah, and like sometimes you're just trying to you're just trying to get the information. Like if I was working out in the middle of nowhere, and I just need to pull up CNN real quick. You don't want, like, CNN has this awful habit of like preloading and auto-playing video. Like, they do a lot of really stupid crap. So to have an option that just says, just give me basically the text without all the JavaScript and all the other crap, is great.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's interesting. It gives me a number. You can actually see how much data savings you're getting when you turn the data saver on. Interesting.
Yeah. It looks like there might be a downside in that, like, images won't load, perhaps, or not without clicking a button to load them. So, I mean,
I can live with that.
That's it.
Yeah, but that's like
the data savings.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a compression, but yeah, that's probably the bigger data savings, making that optional. So, and I'd actually heard, I don't know if it's in the rundown, but I'd heard that Google was saying, hey, don't use Flash. No, Adobe was saying don't use Flash. So we may finally see a reduction of Flash on the internet. So.
Yay.
So it's interesting that I'm trying to find it in this article. Here it is. I thought it was. So basically saying that we have access to it, obviously, because we're looking at it, but Google is saying that for now it's like users in India and Indonesia will be able to access this mode. I don't know what that means. Maybe it means that they won't do the compression side of things unless you're in India or Indonesia. They'll only do the picture blocking and stuff. But they're saying that they're targeting those users first.
Oh, you know why that might be? Do they have a regulation in place that the federal government has to monitor all internet traffic?
I would not, given those two countries, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know for sure, though.
The reason why I say that is that effectively what that means is that you're creating a secure encrypted tunnel between your phone and Google servers, and they're doing your web surfing for you, which therefore, because it's an encrypted tunnel, would probably bypass any local filtration or monitoring.
Or Google, because if you're gonna be doing this, you probably want to have hardware in the country.
That too.
Yeah.
Or there's a little government now sitting in front of the pipe saying, "Okay, got
It
that."
could be.
Got that.
I know Google's had their eye on India for a while as far as market share. So, a billion plus people, pretty good little country to get into.
Yeah.
So, like they had the Android One, platform that they debuted there a year and a half ago and stuff like that. So, I'm looking at the Verge site right now, trying to figure out if pictures are not necessarily being loaded. Everything's being loaded, but I may be on Wi-Fi. Well, I am on the Wi-Fi, so it's probably prioritizing through that. So that maybe.
Well, one of the interesting things I noticed personally in a lot of these places in Asia is that, like, you could be very poor and still have a cell phone. From what I hear in Africa, it's the same way. Like, Africa is very forward-leaning with a lot of mobile payments. Like, people are doing these little micropayments because you may not have money for a lot of things, but you have a cell phone because it's a necessity. So it makes sense that Google and Android would be targeting these countries because there's a lot of people with cell phones.
I don't know if you can see this, but it shows 29% data savings, so it's already working regardless of what sites I'm browsing. So I've been to Fandroid, Android Central, The Verge, and already I've saved a little bit. So original 11 megs after 7.89, so 1106 to 7.89. So yeah, it's on, it's working, and Page has been loading up just fine. So, but I have a really good signal here, one way or the other.
Interesting.
So are you guys going to leave it on?
I am.
See, or are you going to?
Definitely.
I'll play with it.
Yeah. I'll report back next week, provided that I remember, and let you know how that goes.
Hey, well, if you don't remember, then that means that you didn't notice that it was on, and that's a really good
there we
thing.
go.
You know?
If I don't come back saying, "Oh my God, my phone, it runs so well."
Oh my God, my phone is horrible now. Yeah.
Well, Joey, you mentioned that you have Google Fi, that you got this little care package. I also got it, though I don't have it. They sent it to my brother. I don't know why. So he's gonna send it to me. But what's this care package that you got? And give us a little show and tell.
Well, Google Fi sent out a Happy Holidays package to all of the subscribers, and apparently Eric. Or was it Chad?
I'm a subscriber.
Yeah. Anyway, so sent out a little care package to all of us subscribers with basically a happy holidays and a thank you for being part of our program, and we want to build a future. That was kind of their little in. So they sent out a package, and I have to admit, I had no idea it was coming. I had not heard. I wasn't been running around, been very busy few weeks, and I just get this FedEx box, and I go, what the heck is this, from Google? All right, so I open it up, and what to my surprise would be a bag of imitation Legos. And I went, what the heck are these? And I pull out the little card, and I still have the box here somewhere. I just don't have it right in front of me. And it's a list of building instructions for two things that you can build with the kit. And the first is a phone holder, and the second is a cable manager, which I think you just run your charger cables through it, and you can then I guess just plug in your devices to it, and that way when you unplug it, the cable just stays there as opposed to flying off into the wherever. Well, I chose to build the cell phone holder, and when you do, it comes out in this Google Fi color-themed package. And
very pretty.
Oh, yes. And each individual brick actually has a little Fi in it.
Nice.
So this is a custom run. And anyway, so you run your charging cable, which I just happen to have one hanging out here. You run your charging cable through the little hole in the back of it, like so.
All right, not safe for work, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you would plug it into what you would think would be the bottom of your phone, and then you set the phone on top of it. In this case, I've got a Amazon Fire 7 here, and as you can see, it holds the Fire 7 quite well, and it works very nicely. And if you want to change the angle, you just kind of pull it back a little bit and let it catch on the next notch, and you can change the angle of the screen. You can also stick something in there to act as like a little bit of a barrier to change the angle, and it's very stable. I mean, this is bigger than any Nexus device that this thing was ever designed to handle, and it's fine. It works great. As a matter of fact, I've had it sitting here on my desk with the Fire on it, streaming Amazon video.
Cool.
That's awesome.
That's a good design, too. If anyone isn't lucky enough to get the kit, they can probably build their own if they get a few Legos of their own.
Check
yeah,
eBay.
yeah.
I'm sure people are selling them.
Well, I will say that they put a lot of effort into building this because you can't see it, I'm sure, on the webcam, but all of the bricks are different sizes. So, like, for instance, they're actually stratified so that you've got longer bricks covering shorter bricks the whole way up the front and the back. So this is actually deceptively strong and will not just fly apart at the drop of a hat. This is the weak link. But after you get underneath here, this is all very, very, very solid. So
It won't even break.
but
yeah, oh, go ahead, Joe.
no, I was gonna say I'm impressed with it, and for free, heck, I mean, I would have. If you told me that you could have sold me this for a certain amount of money, like maybe $5, I would say this was worth it. And for free, heck yeah.
I got a text message from my parents, and they were, I've been buying Christmas presents for folks, sending it to their houses, usually from Amazon because that's easiest. And they sent me a text. They're like, "We got something in the mail, and I think it's broken." And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So, yeah, it was that Legos. They could hear like the sound of these things sloshing around inside, and they thought that I had ordered like a phone or something, and that there was just like broken shards of glass everywhere inside. So, now, Joey, did it also come with a USB-C cable? I heard that it was also coming with that. No?
No.
Type A to Type C is what it says on the article.
I'm wondering if that was only for folks that have a certain type of phone. Maybe if you're running, does the 6P, is that a USB-C? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
Yeah, where to buy a
anything, I don't think. I mean, there wasn't anything else in the box.
I'm guessing that this is only for folks that have a USB Type-C phone. But yeah, so you're in probably my little gift box is only the Lego air quote.
The only thing I can think of is maybe if you ordered a 6P and you got on whatever, maybe if you're registered with the 6P on the Google Fi network, maybe that's why, because that's the one that has a USB-C connection. So and Joey has.
They were offering the 6P with Fi, they weren't when I signed up, but then again the 6P hadn't come out yet, so.
Yeah, now it's you can order the service with 6P or 5X, and it's really, really simple. If I didn't already have the service, I would have jumped on that right away. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't put it in the doc, but Amazon was running a Black Friday special, $34.99 on the 7-inch
Yeah.
Fire tablet, and I picked one up.
How much was it again?
$34.99.
Wow, that's a really
Oh
good deal.
wow, really?
Yeah, normally $49.99, and it was $34.99. I'm like $15 off.
Yeah.
Heck yes,
It-
I will take one.
Is it still going on? I might pick up one tonight.
No, that was actually an honest-to-God Black Friday sale.
Oh,
Unlike
God. Okay.
the other ones that they've run into Cyber Week, Monday, whatever.
Okay, well, that's legit.
But yeah, but I'm like $34.99. Yes, I will pick one up. But I must say, my friend Kyle, who's been on the show before, has a comment about, I have a 6-inch phone.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at
I have a
that.
7-inch tablet.
Yeah.
Why do I need a 7-inch tablet if I have a 6-inch phone? Well,
Because it's $35.
Yeah.
because it's $35. Exactly. That was my comment. Was because it's $35 frickin' dollars. And if it was $50, I wouldn't have bought it. If it was $35, yes, I would. But what is interesting is that the screen on the 7-inch device, the actual physical visible screen, is just slightly larger or about the same size as the entire 6-inch device with the case.
Yeah. Those bezels.
Yeah, it is slightly larger. And it is just large enough that this actually makes a very nice little portable video display, and the 6 does not. Two other quick things about the 7. This is my first Amazon device, and I'm a double-edged sword on it. One thing I absolutely love, this thing gets insane battery life. I charged it up before the show. I have watched 2 complete episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation at full screen, and I have used only 30% battery.
Yeah, that's probably roughly a 4,000 milliamp battery, so that's pretty good. I would bet. I'll look it up real quick.
It is insanely good.
It's like 1 gig of RAM, right? And it's a very low power processor. It's not consuming
but it's very good at it, and the screen is what consumes the juice. It's not the processor; it's the screen, and it's insanely good. I'm impressed with the battery life. I'm impressed with how quickly it loads things. I am not impressed with the curated app store and such, because it means that a lot of my normal everyday apps that I use, I can't run because this is the Fire App Store. And one of those is Dropbox. And you go, well, what does he need Dropbox for? Well, I have automatic upload turned on for my camera so that I get my photos directly over to a PC through Dropbox. And this I can't do that with. So
yeah, that's pretty decent. It's 11 ounces, which is 1 ounce less than the original Nexus 7. I'm trying to look here for the battery size. Battery life up to 7 hours. That's not saying the battery specs. I'm still looking up. But it's cool.
Yeah, for $34.99, definitely worth it. $50, probably worth it. But I will also say this: if you are not a Amazon Prime subscriber, or you are not a Audible audiobook subscriber, this thing is probably pretty much useless, because you can't load enough other apps to access other content that you might be paying for through this because of the curated app store.
But if the person that buys that, besides someone like us that's just messing around with it, like they're in the Amazon ecosystem, so they're not going to know what they're missing out on generally.
If you're on the Amazon App Store, this thing is incredible. If you're in the Amazon ecosystem, this thing is incredible.
Actually,
I mean, the Kindle, everything just works flawlessly.
The battery is 2,980 milliamps, so it's basically 3,000s, but that's still pretty good. It may be because the screen resolution isn't super large. It's not like Quad HD or whatever. So
yeah, and I will. Huh?
I was just gonna ask, did you guys, any of you, pick up the unlimited Amazon Cloud Drive storage for $5? That deal?
No.
I didn't bother because I have unlimited photo storage through Prime. That's an included benefit.
Is it?
Yeah. JPEGs, TIFFs, and NEF, which is Nikon's RAW format, and the Canon RAW format. I can't remember what the file extension is. All of those file extensions are freely uploadable to the Amazon Cloud. No limitation on how many and how much. as long as you're a paying Prime subscriber.
Well, why are you crying, Joey? You're talking about Dropbox. You have a way to back up your phone, your pictures.
Yeah, but it just screws up my workflow because everything else goes to
You're not
Dropbox.
working on a $35 tablet.
Yeah.
You're not.
For $35, Amazon's your workflow now.
That's right.
Well, you got a point.
Eric, did you load
Yeah.
Twerp on your Shield tablet?
Oh, I did not. I'm not ready to do it yet. I saw this last night that it was available. I might do it, but I don't know. Like the Shield tablet, at least for me, has been. It's fine the way it is. I haven't felt the need to ROM it or anything like that.
Well, that's the only reason you would need a custom recovery, is if you were going to put a custom ROM on your Shield tablet. Is there any custom ROM available for it, like besides just whatever AOSP has?
Yeah, there are. I'm looking right now to see if I can find it, but I believe on XDA there's a bunch.
With K1 support or no?
Well, I would assume so because the K1's the exact same as the 16 gigabyte regular one. So should be fine. Shield tablets. Oh yeah, there's tons of things on here. Bloop bloop bloop. So yeah, if you go on to XDA, it looks like there's some ROMs, there's some kernel tweaks and things. I'll bet the tweak kernels would be interesting just because of how powerful this K1 processor is. That might be fun to mess with. However, I don't.
It crashed before. Just wait for the kernel tweak.
Yeah, right.
What's the goal of putting a custom ROM on that? I mean, like for instance, what I mean is if you put a custom ROM on, say, for instance, like a Nook or something, you can turn it into a multi-function actual tablet.
A useful tablet, yeah.
Yeah. What's the point in putting a custom ROM on the console?
There's not really any bloatware to get rid of, or I mean, it's pretty much a pure Android experience, other than the Shield hub and the Shield, stuff that they put on there for that specifically. But yeah, I don't know why you would. I'm curious if it would break your game. Like I just got Final Fantasy VI for it, and I have Half-Life 2 and Portal and all this. Like I wonder if it would not work on there because it doesn't detect it as being a Shield tablet anymore. Like if that identifier goes away, or if they kept that in the custom ROM so that you could, continue playing your Shield games, or even the streaming service, right? That's not probably going to work on a custom ROM for that.
Right.
I think if you're using any of the services, it wouldn't work. However, like if you're mainly, this is going to be for if you're one of those people that's developing like CyanogenMod or like we Paranoid Android. Like if you're on one of these teams that's actually making new stuff for Android, having a custom recovery is sort of essential. And since this is such a nice, powerful tablet, it makes sense that people would want to have this ability.
Less user though.
Yeah, well, probably if you've had it for a few months, maybe you get bored and you want to try something different. So.
Or if you live in a place that doesn't have access, like if you live in a place that can't use these services anyway, and you don't care, why not?
Well, it reminds me of when we used to run, or actually not that long ago, because I did it, maybe 2-3 years ago. I put Xbox Media Center on a traditional Xbox, first-gen Xbox, and that gave me all kinds of capability that I never had before, like the ability to play videos and all kinds of stuff. But one of the things that they included was the ability to hit a different button to turn it on, and it basically skipped the Xbox Media Center load and went straight to the game, just as if it was a straight-up Microsoft process. So that way, if you did have a game that was real particular, you could get around that. And I wonder if this is one of those things where they might have to provide you with a recovery so that you can flash back and go back to the way it was. Just thought.
All sorts of good recovery possibilities for when your Shield tab decides to F itself.
Yeah. The only problems I've had, which is admittedly a big problem, was when the battery had a chance of exploding. That wasn't fun.
Yeah,
I mean, little thermal runaway. Everybody likes that.
Out of proportion, Eric.
But as far as like stability of tablet, like that sort of stuff, haven't really had problems. It's the perfect size for traveling and things like that, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same size as my Kindle, like when it hangs out in my bag. I mean, it is a little bigger, obviously, but it doesn't feel like much more than just a Kindle. It's good stuff. Let's talk about Andy Rubin real quick. This is kind of interesting. The Android co-founder, as you probably know, he's gonna get back into the smartphone business. So he was in the smartphone business, right? He was into robots, right? Okay, and then he got into smartphone biz, and then he went back to robots, right? And then he went back to smartphone biz, and then did he go back to robots? He went to China, didn't he? Or was that Hugo?
No,
Hugo.
I think you got it right.
So
Hugo left.
Hugo left, but Ruben, I guess he stuck around. But there's Alphabet now, and I'm pretty sure they could have a smartphone company based on Android, surprisingly, and he could run the show or maybe be a bigwig doing things there, if not the CEO. So.
Well, he's gone from Google at this point, as of about a year ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is part of his he's been doing VC work, and
cool.
I think these rumors are coming out of that. He wants he did the whole deal where Google bought Boston Dynamics. He helped out with that.
Okay, so that's robots, and then
he left, and now he's back to Android.
Did he help out with the Motorola deal? Because that would be back to smartphones.
Well, what's interesting is that this was last fall. Well, does anybody else notice the timing? It's almost exactly a year later. How long do non-compete contracts usually run?
I'm not allowed to say.
Exactly.
Who knows?
No one can discuss the contract until the contract has expired.
Who knows?
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
We'll let you know when it's up, and then you can compete again.
We'll let you know in a year, maybe.
We'll call you. We'll definitely call you.
Yeah, but if you look at that, honestly, go back and look through history, and it's almost exactly a year off for everybody that takes any kind of departure from tech. It's almost exactly a year. I'm trying to remember how long it was between when Steve Jobs was thrown out of Apple and when they came out with the Lisa. I don't remember, but
Lisa?
I'm pretty sure.
He left in November, so yeah, you are like right on that year time mark. So that's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So by the way, now that my non-compete has expired, by the way, I'm getting back into the game. So here we go.
So this article is saying that he's targeting the high end of Android.
Cool.
What do you guys think
also
that means, and do you think it'll be successful?
Did Vertu hire him?
No, Ferrari
let's
did.
just hope the heck it isn't OnePlus.
Not that high end.
What if it's BlackBerry?
Ooh, that would be completely interesting.
I'd get the money up front in cash. Take no check.
Yeah, don't get any stock options. Yeah.
And straight up.
Yeah. What I like is that he's talking about not building a new smartphone OS, but he's building a new handset.
Right, because the OSs are there, right? We're so far from where we first started with Android and like even Treo. Like all of these OSs on phones have just been god awful up until just the last couple of years. Like they're finally on point. So what else are you gonna do? Yeah.
And why would he? He knows Android, and even probably more importantly, he knows the Android teams. He knows the Google structure of how Android works. I mean, I'm sure that Sundar Pichai messed with like the internal team structures probably a little bit, but if he's developing a phone and they run up against a really bad hardware problem, he probably knows the people to call to help, work it out. So Android makes total sense.
And he also would be in a position to say, hey, I'm starting my new company. Would you like to come over to my side?
Next year. Would you like a job next year?
So, by the way, after my non-compete is over, would you like to come work for me?
Bennies and lots of money? I'm in.
I kind of like the idea of the high end, of him targeting the high end market though, because like for me, high end just means like not OnePlus.
Eric,
Like,
for me, I like the word high end. Not so much. That means like it's over.
well, okay, I consider the Moto X 2014. Wait, is that a wait? Hold on. What?
What?
The end of the high, man. It's over, man.
Keep going with your moto. What were you gonna say?
Like the Motorola stuff. I don't consider that. I don't consider those low end. Like normal. Can we just call high end normal?
They'd just
As
be
you,
the
as you
mid.
take it.
Motorola's the mids.
Do you think so? I mean, if you're buying a brand new Motorola phone for $600 unlocked, is that really a mid-range phone?
No, that's not. But they have like they're 300 plus and the $400 phone. So
Who are these people dropping 6 on a brand new moto?
Hi.
No, you did not. You subsidized it through your carrier for
No.
like $2,400 over the course of a year.
Project Fi, dude. I had two options. I could buy it outright, or I could put it in a credit app and have them ding my credit for running a credit report and space out over, I think it was 12 or 24 months. And I was going to pay the exact same amount plus paying interest. So I just said, you know what? Frig it. I'll just buy it.
yeah,
And,
I mean, I bought this Nexus 5 for 400 as well. So
yeah, I mean, this was a Nexus 6
high rollers.
4 gig.
You guys.
What was it 500?
Well, it's easier when you have more choices than like Verizon.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
easier.
That's true. I had to like look extra careful to make sure that the Nexus 6 I got was the correct version, because there are 2 versions that Amazon sells, and one of them does not work.
Ooh.
I think that's the version we have.
Luckily, there were lots of reviews like mentioning that.
Like pissed off people.
Yeah.
What
Like,
the hell, man?
by the way, just so you don't leave a 1-star review.
Yeah.
Did
But
you get-
to me, a high-end phone is a good place to start, which is why I think OnePlus started with a high-end phone, and then they've kind of come out with a mid-range to try to get early adopters out there and get their name out there. But I don't know. I kind of question at this point why we need another name brand that's producing really high-end, really expensive phones, because most people do not buy a really high-end, really expensive phone. Most
Joey,
people...
This is America. This is America. People have choice, okay?
No, I get that, but I'm sure
$1,000
there's a line at Walmart to pick up straight talk phones for $30 on Black Friday.
Well, those are different use cases, Joey. You're not throwing away your high-end phone after you get a hit on your wife. So, just saying different uses.
Oh yeah.
When I see high end, I think high end's a little misleading. I mean, we're not talking about the Vertu phone.
yeah,
I'm talking about things that are made from quality
high-end.
components.
That's luxury, and luxury is
Yeah.
different than high-end, okay? Luxury is crap with, like, gold wrapped around it and diamonds sat on the top of it. Like, high-end this is legit stuff. Here, we're talking.
If you're standing in line at Walmart for a straight talk phone, yeah, you're totally out of the market for what they're offering. Like,
Yeah, but
some
my
people
point
don't
is-
need a they want no frills phones.
Yeah.
Other
My
people
point
like
is that you're going to sell 300 million cheaper low-end phones than you are higher-end, premium-priced, high-performance devices.
But at that point, it all costs you the same to make, so it's in your best interest to have multiple SKUs getting all of the money.
well, I imagine you'd have a higher margin of profit if on a high-end phone, depending upon how much you sell it for. But I guess it depends, and really considering the competition we've been seeing over the last couple of years, we're seeing a lot of your high-end phones in the $400 range, like the Moto X, and others, So
That's because we're in a depression, also.
yeah, this is true. That $400 today is like $1,000 10 years ago.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of high-end, Fossil Q.
Ooh.
Do you wear Fossil?
I only wear Tag Whore.
Ah. Well, for those of you that can't afford Tag Whore, the Fossil Q Founder, a little cheaper, $295. Looks like a watch, so that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get excited over watch. I don't wear a watch. You're not gonna come out with anything unless it S's a D and does some dishes. It's gonna make me want to wear a watch. I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
Yeah, but
I
then it
thought-
gets pregnant, and then you have a bunch of little watches just running
Exactly.
around.
A little pocket watch. No, that's not a road we should go down.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna buy the original Moto 360 when it went on sale for $100, but I thought about it since our last hangout. And I was like, you know what? I really don't wear it that often. So yeah, I've kind of put it off. So
We would make so much fun of you.
So a couple of things to make note about this watch. So if you compare it to like the Moto 360 and then the Tag Heuer phone, I mean the Tag Heuer watch,
yeah,
for the price, even though it is more expensive than the Moto 360, it still has like that flat tire at the bottom, so it's not
Yeah.
completely like the screen isn't completely taken up with the display,
What
which is a
that?
little.
Flat tire? I don't understand what that means.
So look at the picture, if you wouldn't mind, Matthew, pulling it up on
Okay.
your screen.
Okay, so let me share this with you. This picture.
See that
Okay.
the little black area at the bottom of the display?
Right here?
Yeah,
Okay.
that is what we call a flat tire, which is an area of the screen that's not part of the display.
It's just dead?
Yeah.
yeah, it's where all the sensors go, like to detect the brightness and stuff.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Your phone has that, right? Like, if you ever look at your
Yeah.
phone in sun, it's got all that, and that's not. They could have
But
made.
it's not as nice.
They could have painted like the 6 there, and perhaps the 5 and the 7 to make it look, a little less.
Yeah, another advantage for doing that is it allows them to have smaller bezels because they can put the equipment there. So
They could have had like a little Android like peeking its head over. Like, hey.
You have like 5 feet of watch chain. Why don't you put some sensors in there?
Well, that's
As
a good
watch
point.
band is replaceable cheaply.
Well, maybe call your homies at Project ARA and be like, "Hey, can you make me a modular?"
Yeah, I just still do not understand why we need frickin' watches. I just don't get it.
This is IPv6 7 rated, so that's helpful, right? Get all the internet.
It's,
Yeah,
Joey,
there's
if you're
so
going
much
into
need right now for
fancy-
IPv6.
You know what? It's a status symbol. A watch is a status symbol, Joey. You gotta wear it.
Hashtag humble brag.
Hashtag stupid technology for people with too much money and not enough sense.
No, not a $295 fossil. Come on, this is for like the. Well, I don't want to like denigrate any one type. Not on this show, at least. But there's a very large subset of the population that's gonna get these for like Christmas or their birthday because it's a fossil. It's like, oh, bro, I know you wear fossil. Here's this cool watch. You know what I mean? Like it's
Come on, bro. Here's a fossil.
Fossil, bro.
Yeah, it just makes me want to throw it in a pile of dirt and dig for it.
Well, that is one thing you can do with it.
I don't think $295 is like too much. It's the price of a decent watch. So if you wear watches, whatever, you have the mid-range option.
I'm still waiting for the Swatch Android wear.
The Swatch.
Still a thing.
Where's my Timex?
Are they still? Hey, I like Timex too. Remember the Indiglo? It was good stuff. The Iron
I
Man,
had 2 or 3 of those. Yeah.
right? Made you feel like an Iron Man. Like, yeah, I could go run a decathlon and time myself, and then I'm not gonna, but I could.
Yeah. Yeah, look at the 4 of us. Are any of us going to go run a decathlon?
Well, I don't know.
I ran a 5K last weekend.
I don't
The
drink
weekend.
coffee, so
Decathlon.
I only drink decathlon.
The EFF is accusing Google of tracking students. Uh-oh. Google.
That's not good.
Dun 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 dun.
Via their school-issued Chromebooks. So, did nobody read the terms of service when Google came to your school and was like, hey, we'd love to give you and all your kids free Chromebooks? Just sign at the bottom of the page here.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe they didn't. I think, if I remember right, Google was pretty vocal about how they weren't going to do this. So it is a little, it's a little disingenuous, I think. And plus, I don't really understand, like, aren't there legal implications if you're not, like, this is why most websites say you have to be a certain age to sign up, and people just ignore it.
Yeah.
But isn't that a problem?
I don't think that's why, but yes, I'm sure that's an issue.
Well, no, like, the parental consent is a, it's a big deal.
Yeah, because
Are you saying Google just statutoried, like, this whole school full of kids? Jesus.
not quite.
Yes.
They're accused of tracking non-education internet usage of students through school-issued Chromebooks, which the EFF says, of course, is a violation of the Student Privacy Pledge. I hope that's better than it sounds. According to the EFF's complaint to the FTC, the concerns center around Google Think, which keeps browser settings in sync between multiple computers and the data stored on Google's servers. But if you use a password with it, right, it's all encrypted. So is that still not okay?
Well, it's stored on their servers. That's probably the issue, I would guess.
Well, do you want to store it on your servers? I don't want to store it on my servers, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the reasons why they offer Chromebooks so cheap, is, because they want to get their services out there. So
Sure, that's on just Chrome anyway. Like, you can have it sync across your Android, anything else
Yeah.
that you log into Chrome with. So I don't.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like a big deal to me.
Well, if you look up the privacy pledge,
No, aside from that nonsense,
well, no, like, this
Orally
is what I.
this doesn't seem like a big deal.
Well, and it doesn't seem to me to actually be violating the privacy pledge, because one of the little tenets or the little bullet points of the privacy pledge is to be transparent about collection and use of data. So it's not saying we won't collect it. It's saying we'll be transparent about how we collect it and how we use it. The only thing that I think the EFF might be right on is that if they're not giving parents any control over their children's data or letting them opt out, like that might be a violation
You
of
can't
this.
go
Okay,
and
hold on.
uncheck the box that says sync.
Okay, hold on. Hold the phone on this whole thing. There have been numerous, and this actually went all the way to the Supreme Court. No, not hold the phone literally, Matt. Damn it, put your phone down. For those of you that are not watching the video podcast, you're going to be very confused by that.
We're very literal.
Matt can be extremely literal. Anyway, but okay, this literally. Oh, stop it, Eric. This literally went all the way to the Supreme. Oh, Nick, don't you start. Anyway, this went to the Supreme Court, and it was ruled at the highest level in the U.S. that if an employer owns the networking equipment that the internet use is being done through, then they have the right and the ability and the legal responsibility for what happens on that equipment and that network traffic. This is why almost every company, and probably these schools too, have an internet usage policy that says what you can and can't do, and by the way, that we will monitor you while you are doing it. So I have a sneaking suspicion that this is a bunch of people getting haired up over not a whole lot in reality, because basically all this means is that the school is providing you with hardware, and the hardware is being monitored, so they know what you're doing.
But it's not being monitored by the school. It's being monitored by a third party.
It's a service that's been in Chrome for who knows how long. And if you don't want to use it, uncheck the freaking box. That's all it is.
Well,
Did they
It doesn't
disallow
sound like
that?
they
Like,
have.
is it set in stone in their school versions of Chrome that you can't turn that off? Because that would be
It
weird.
sounds like it. If in the article it's saying Google has evidently told the EFF that it plans to disable settings that allow Google Sync data to be shared with other Google services. So, maybe perhaps it's turned on by default, or they don't have the option to turn it off. But Google has allegedly told the EFF that they're going to change something.
Well, it could also be
So don't worry about it.
well, it's also possible this is part of a initiative to block illegal traffic and BitTorrent sites and stuff like that, along with preventing their internet usage from going to sites that are known to have malware or whatnot.
Going to the cats. Nobody's BitTorrenting on Chromebooks.
Yeah,
First.
nobody's BitTorrenting on Chromebooks from school.
And if you're BitTorrenting from school, like, right on.
There are BitTorrent clients for Chrome. They could theoretically use it, but I don't think they're realistically. It's very slim.
I thought the ones I looked at, and I haven't looked in a while, but it seemed more like control to access your torrent client on your computer. Like, you could just go in there and see how stuff was doing. I didn't see any actual, like, here, download this video to your Chromebook. Cool. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on this and see, what ends up happening. And really, if you're that concerned about, like, buy your own child a Chromebook? Or no?
Well,
Chromebooks. Buy them.
When you were going to school, did they have laptop carts and stuff?
Let me tell you something. When I went to school, we had an Apple IIc.
Me too.
Oh, shut up! No,
we got a Macintosh. The year later, we got a Macintosh, and then we got an SE, and it was color. That was sweet.
When I was in kindergarten.
I'm just talking about like 8th grade. We had typing when I was in school. First year typing class, that was all typewriters. I'm old.
I actually had typing class too.
On typewriters? Nice.
It was on old school
typewriter.
word processors.
We'll have to talk after the show. I need a
definitely.
typewriter for my memoirs.
Well, when I entered kindergarten, we had a Apple IIe with monochrome green screen.
Green or orange?
Green.
Nice.
And the old school Image Writer 2, dot matrix on tractor paper, printer, and it was on a cart, and they rolled it. Every classroom would have it once every 3 days.
Oh, that's awesome.
You'd switch between, and that was my first exposure to technology, which is one of the reasons why I can still play Number Munchers and Oregon Trail like you wouldn't freaking believe.
Munchers, I forgot about that. That was a good game. I like the last comment here on the article from Boob Lala. They said that after rereading the article, I blame the parents. Google saves the passwords to make it easier for a specific user to log into a certain website. These computers should not be used for non-school purposes. Ergo, suck it.
Which is basically what I was saying about, company-provided hardware.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, well, good job, everyone. What's the email address, Eric?
Our email address is show@attackoftheandroids.com.
What's the website, Eric?
Our website is http://www.attackoftheandroids.com/live.
Very good. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Bye.